Hey there. So how do we want to start this out?
Hey there.
Hey there. I'm Ben.
And I'm Rachel.
Together we run Toalson Media, which is an umbrella company for all of our creative endeavors. Rachel is an author, and I'm a film producer, and we are also musicians and make music together. We've been working together creatively for many years. We actually met in a band and played music together.
Wait, who was the leader of the band?
Probably, I think it was you.
It was me.
Yeah. We made 3 full-length albums together and released a couple of singles. And then Rachel, when she started her author career, wrote several books. How many have you released?
There's been like 21, maybe.
And here shortly, as of this video recording, Rachel is just a few months away from her first traditionally published release, which is really exciting. Last year, I filmed a documentary short film called Tough Nisi about a friend of mine who has cerebral palsy and competed in a Tough Mudder, which is a mud-ridden obstacle course, and that was really cool.
Really cool.
Together, Rachel and I produce videos where she'll write a poem and I'll have some footage to go along with that. And I also I produce a lot of videos. And even now, from time to time, when we can make the time, we write songs and record and share that with people. We do this because we love making art. We love telling stories. And we believe that when we share stories, it makes the world a better place. When people see themselves in a story, it helps them feel like they're not alone in the things that they're going through, helps them feel understood. And stories can also be a window into someone else's experience where you get to see the humanity in someone that you might not otherwise have understood.
I like to say that we find ourselves and we find each other in stories.
That's a much more concise way of saying that, which is why she's the writer. Because we believe in this so much, it's something that we're going to continue to do no matter what. But we want to do more. So why don't we do more? I'm gonna let Rachel take a stab at that one.
Well, we're the parents of 6 young children, ages 3 to 11, and parenting takes a lot of energy. Not to mention, we also, at least Ben also works a full-time job. And having a full-time job on top of creative pursuits is just a very difficult thing, trying to find the time in which to create. A lot of times we're left with this choice between, do we want to get extra sleep or do we want to go ahead and create something new? And sometimes our body just tells us we need to sleep. And so we can't create that really cool thing that we would really enjoy creating. And then sometimes there are issues that come up in the full-time job and it requires more time, and that also takes away from creative pursuits.
And we've been really disciplined, and we've worked out our schedules in such a way where Rachel is able to focus on her writing and get a lot of writing done. I'm able to use pockets of my time to produce videos, and like I said before, we make time every once in a while when we can to write music. But our time is really thin. We also love our kids a lot, and we, especially when they're this age, we want to spend as much time with them as we can. And that's why years ago, as our family started growing, we realized we couldn't be a touring band anymore, and we couldn't do kind of this original vision we had of our music, because we didn't want to trade that for the precious time that we have with our kids. And so we really want to keep all of this in balance, and sometimes what that means is we can't do as much creatively as we would like to. So this is why Patreon is so cool, because it introduces this idea of patronage to the creative things that we're doing. And I want to explain a little bit about how that works. So way back in the day, when somebody was making something beautiful, creating art, and sharing that with the world, they didn't really have a way to do that unless they were being funded by somebody else. And so rich people, people who were really well off, would pay the bills and would take care of all of that stuff, so that creative person, whether it was Beethoven or Leonardo da Vinci or...
Some of my favorite poets actually they were taken care of by patrons.
Yeah, and of course it wasn't perfect, but that was basically how it worked. If you were a creative person and you wanted to share art with the world, you wanted to spend your time and your focus and your energy on that so that you could be a master of your craft and really make something beautiful. And people recognized the value in that, and so they would pay for that. And so what Patreon does is something very similar. It gives people an opportunity, instead of us having to go through a publisher or a record company or something like that, we get to make things, and our patrons get to help us make that happen. And you don't have to be rich. It doesn't have to be tons of money. We actually have levels where you can give as little as $1 a month. Think about it. If we had thousands of people giving $1 a month, we would have all of our bills taken care of, and we could devote all of our time to making things. And part of what I do, for example, is help Rachel with her author platform. And so I actually take some time on the weekends to try to design things for her and build out things on her website, make videos for her, because I want for her books to reach as many people as possible, because I believe so much in the power of her stories. Well, the more support we have through patronage, the more I'll be able to help her with that, the more reach her books will have, the more videos I'll be able to make, and on and on. And we have big dreams for things that we really want to do, big projects that we'd like to take on,
which are hard to take on in small pieces.
Right. Yeah, that if time was no issue, if money was no issue, we could drop everything and just do those things. It's really difficult to stand here and communicate how big our vision is for this in a single video. But if you know us and you've followed our creative work and you've seen the things we've produced, you know that we care deeply about quality and pay attention to detail, but we truly pour ourselves into our work because we want it to make a difference.
We're going to keep creating no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's no pressure, but we would love to be able to create more than we already do. And with your help, that could be possible.
We want you to be a part of what we're doing. We want you to see the work that we're creating and feel like I actually played a role in helping that come to life. And it would also mean a lot to us to have your support and to know that you're behind us and that you believe in the things that we want to see this art become in the world. If you've made it this far, I just want to stop and say thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for considering being one of our patrons. The way this works is we have different tiers for how much you can give on a monthly basis, and for each tier we have special content that's going to be exclusive to the people who are giving at that level.
Stuff that we're creating.
Right. So even if you give just $1 a month, you get access to things that other people either don't get to see or they have to wait to see. You get first access and exclusive access to content. And the more you're able to give per month, the more exclusive content you'll be able to see from us. It's going to include some behind the scenes stuff, extras, maybe even some physical gifts that we'll send your way. But if you're on the fence at all, I just want to encourage you, get involved at $1 a month. And like I said, if thousands of people gave $1 a month, we'd be able to accomplish so much together.
And check out other places on this page where we talk a little bit about some of the big projects that we have in mind.
We're always going to keep that current. We already have some things in mind we want to do, so go look at the About section, check those out. We're always going to keep that up to date with some of the big things we want to accomplish. And as people get on board, as we grow our patronage, we're we can't even imagine right now what that might look like. It's actually the idea that we could get thousands of people supporting us feels a little bit foreign, but you know, as our patronage grows, we want what we're doing to grow with that. And so we're going to have big dreams and plans, and we're always going to communicate that with you guys right here. So thanks again for watching and for considering being a part of this journey with us.